Okay, so at this point, your user portal files from various books you've pulled from the ITP library should all be relinked and ready to go. So from here, as far as how to make your translational contributions is concerned, you really only need to pay attention to the yellow cells. So as you can see, there are 3 columns of yellow cells out to the right of this picture. If you happen to be colorblind, we're talking about columns V through X. So here's where you can make individual word translations one at a time. So there is an IT number assigned to every row, which correlates to every single individual word of the original language in sequential reading order. So simply find the row with the word you're interested in translating, note the IT number, and simply enter what translational word or phrase you think should be used for this specific IT number, and enter that data into column V. Next, the 2 remaining yellow columns, it would be good for you to provide a reference if there happened to be a book or a video or some source that supports why you thought the translation should be such. So you can enter that into column W, and also there is another column for user comments associated with their translation for that specific IT number, so feel free to enter other relevant comments into column X. Okay. Your other option for making translational contributions to the Interactive Translation Project is through the Apply to All tool. I plan on making another video regarding the Apply to All tool in a separate ITP Tools playlist, so I won't go into the deepest detail here, but this tool can currently be found within the user portal file. If you open the user portal files and look along the bottom of the Excel window, you should see another green tab saying Apply to All. When you click on that tab, you will see a new window with instructions on how to use this tool in that window. Again, I'll be coming out with another video regarding the Apply to All tool in a separate playlist. But you should be able to also figure out how to use it by simply following the instructions shown in that tab. So like I said, this Apply to All tool is currently combined with the user portal file, but I think sometime in the not too distant future I'm going to make this its own standalone tool. There are good reasons for this, the main reason being, if I put this tool in its own file, well, this will not only reduce file sizes, but more importantly, it might enable me to enter the entire quote-unquote Old Testament into this tool. So when you are applying to all, you will be doing so for the entire Old Testament in one shot instead of individual book files. So users in individual book if they had to use individual book files, think about it, they might have to apply to all these changes to as many different book files as they pulled from the ITP library. But if I do it this other way as a standalone tool, users will be able to apply changes to everything at once and then simply link the separate Apply to All tool file and to their individual book files, and to pull that section from the tool needed for the individual book files. I'm sorry if I'm confusing you. Like I said, I will be making another video that explains this better. But I'll mention one more thing. I'm going to also make a UIT number database. So once the entire database is in there for the Old Testament, then I'm going to figure out how many unique words were used based on spelling. and then I'm going to sort them alphabetically, then I'm going to assign them a UIT number, so that's a unique interactive translation number. The reason for this is I think I've heard Strong's, for example, might have missed a few words or combined a few words of the original language. I still have to look into this more, but I want to make sure I have a complete list of all the possible words, and I have a special number assigned to each of those words so we can know exactly where they are, how many times they appear, and so forth. Again, I'll explain more about this in more detail in another video I'll be coming out with regarding the Apply to All tool. Okay, one more quick suggestion at this point. Save your work periodically and always keep a backup file or a copy of your work in the location where you copy and pasted your user portal file in your private Dropbox space. I suggest you make another new folder titled Backups. Then periodically, especially after you make a lot of changes, you should copy and paste your user portal files into this backup folder and give it a new name, such as user portal number, whatever it is, and put the date and a letter in case you have multiple files saved per day. Giving it a special name like this will allow you to keep adding more and more backup files to the folder to protect your work without having to get rid of any of your old ones in case you ever want to go back and see what you were thinking at a different point in time. Okay, so that's it for this video. In the next video, we'll talk about the user edits log. This log will be very important for you to keep up to date so that your brother and sister truth seekers can quickly see what you've been working on and potentially discover things that they should be thinking about or looking into for themselves. So next I would recommend checking out the video titled Getting Started with the ITP Part 5, the User Edits Log. I believe it should be the next video in this playlist. I'll try to also include a link in the description below, and in case you somehow found this video and you're not actually in the playlist, or you can also find the playlist by going to the channel and clicking on the playlist tab.